What's up, gamers? Hello? Oh yeah, I know I'm exactly 12 minutes late. I do these things on purpose. Clearly, obviously. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna not have the music drown me out so much. Okay, well, let's see who's here with us today. Welcome, Leopard Dusk, Lauren, Phoenix Flame, Fizzy Dizzy, Imposter Bread, Arabic Bean, Rose Gray, Galaxy Polar Pack, Willow Star, Jacob Tiller, Chance, the true Mr. Pink. Hello, everybody. Top Hat, how's it going? Hi, guys. Boy, oh boy. I've been working so hard on random things. And I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get the stream stuff. I'm just not in a very stable situation at the moment. But it's okay. We are working through it. So, welcome in if you're just joining. Welcome, Rudy. Rudy, are you the one that always comments Meet Jimmy? You are like an entity on my channel. It's like every video, it's like Meet Jimmy, and I'm like, who, why? Who is Jimmy? I'm doing good, gamers. We're gonna write some things today, and it'll be a ton of fun. So, boy oh boy, let me get the chill music, because this is like really hype. Alright, we're gonna tone it down a little bit. Alright. So, today, we're gonna be writing some Origins scripts. Because I've been working a lot on Origins in the background of things. And I'm just about ready to start on Season 2. I'm about done with Season 1 of Brightside. I'm on the last episode of Season 1 for Brightside. Sorry about that. But yes, I just started working on Season 2 of Origins because I'm wrapping up Season 1 of Brightside. And hopefully, with enough luck, we will be starting it ASAP. So, boy oh boy. We have a lot of projects we're gonna be working on. Ugh, I just can't wait to get Origins done, so let's do this thing. I've got a couple of scripts here that I have picked out. Season 2 of Origins is going to have 12 episodes because it's one for each vessel. So, the vessel that we left off on was Cypress. Cypress's episode is going to be fully colored, animated, and everything like that. But as far as the script goes, it's completely staying the way it is. But from Cypress's episode forward, we are going to be changing absolutely everything. So you're along for the ride. And who knows, maybe you can help write it with me. Maybe you can have some good suggestions. So, as per every live stream, you can donate if you want to support the projects that I work on. It is very much appreciated. And you can throw some fruit in our food bowls, our little fruit bowls here. Gosh, I'm so dyslexic. I can't even talk about food and fruit in the same sentence. They are the same thing. I don't know why that is so difficult. But yes, you can throw some fruit at me or Peeves. See which one of us ends up with the most fruit at the end of the stream. Oh boy. But yeah, we're gonna be working on Fennel's episode today, and we're also probably gonna be working a little bit on Lupine's episode today. Depending on how far we get, we might actually get to Poppy's too. We're just gonna be skipping around. I'm gonna be explaining the process and really diving deep into what it means to write a series and why it needs to be basically rewritten. These scripts are about 5 years old, so they definitely need they need some sprucing up. Oh, Lauren, you had a question. Do you plan on taking a break between Season 1 and 2 of Brightside? Just a small break, because Season 2 of Brightside, I am working on the animated intro sequence, and it is fancy. Let me just say, it is fancy. So, it's gonna take me a little bit. It took me about a month to animate the first intro for Brightside, so I'm gauging about a month after I finish the first season will be at least getting started on the second season. of Brightside because it's all pre-recorded, so it's very easy. I just have a couple of things I'd like to tweak with the interface and make a couple of things a little bit nicer. So, hopefully soon after, I'm gonna be working on Season 2 of Origins and Brightside side by side. So in the meantime, while we're working on Origins, there will still be uploads on the channel and still stuff for you guys to do while we work on Origins, because it's going to take forever because animation is a pain. Oh boy, cameraman already!
I can't wait to see Season 2 of Origins.
Oh yeah!
It'll be much more fun than watching you make it.
Oh, cameraman, I know cameraman. Look, we gotta be patient. The stars of the show need to have proper scripts to read so they can make the best performance possible. But Sonia, I'm using Google Docs, yes. I use Google Docs for most things just because it's way easier to share and collaborate. So that is what I usually use. And the Brightside cast is doing great. We hung out actually last night. We were picking out our favorite moments of Brightside because at the end of this season, we're going to be making a compilation of all of our favorite moments from this arc. And it's going to be so much fun because it's all handpicked by the cast and we're having a great time with it. And yes, Galaxy, I'm so glad you brought that up. I actually have a video coming out this week. This lovely, lovely Tuesday coming up, we have a video that is coming out that is going to be the redesigns of the vessels. If you're on my PetPyves Premium, which is basically my homemade Patreon, check out my website if you haven't. It's really cute. If you're already on PetPyves Premium, then you've seen all the redesigns. They get early access to things, the sneak peeks behind the scenes, and they have seen the new designs, and I'm very excited about it. I'm going to be doing a series of videos of speed paints and commentary of all of the redesigning that I'm going to be doing. So, woo! Really excited. You want Morbid to be taller than Imp? Well, Morbid's a little munchkin, so... He's short and angry. Exactly, Leopard Dusk. Oh, General Random looks at screen like I'm an actual YouTuber or something. You should hit that bell and have the notifications turned on, you silly goose. I'm kidding. God, please, God, I'm not your average YouTuber. I'm not gonna sit there and be like and subscribe. But I mean, if you do subscribe, a little banana will fall from the sky, but I'm not gonna, like, force you or, like, interrupt all of my videos by being like, hey, if you enjoy my content, do this thing. My tips of making a story? Take your time. Take your time with it. Let it grow up with you, because, oh my, you're about to see how much this is about to change. And I will put on the screen, I have two funny little GIFs. The first GIF is this spoilers. If you see this on screen, that means we are, like, in heavy spoiler territory, and if you don't want Origins to be spoiled, for whatever reason, if you're like, I just want to enjoy it, I don't want to really understand the process, I don't really want to see this part of the process until after it's come out, then pay attention to these popping up on screen, because this is when we're going to be talking about stuff. The second little GIF I have is this little GIF I have of my brain. This is an actual, very scientific, realistic image of a frozen pea bouncing around in my brain, and that is for when my brain doesn't work. So yeah, those are the GIFs of the stream. So, we're starting on episode 7. Episode 7 of Season 2 is Fennel's episode. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a mess. Everything's a mess right now, and I left it as is. I thought about cleaning it up a little bit for stream, but I genuinely, I wanted to be authentic and show you guys just what state it is in since 2018. I haven't touched these scripts since 2018. And if you see question marks next to some of the casting, it's because I don't know if people are still going to take the roles and stuff. I'm not doing any open casting at this time. I'm just going to be reaching out to people who are already in my cast, because there's some characters that are being cut, and those people obviously deserve roles because they have had them forever, and then I took away their character, so I got to give them a new one. So no open casting, no new casting. We're just gonna stick with what we got and finish this thing. So, after Rose's episode, you're scared. Aw, don't worry. This one's gonna be fun. So, I want to read the synopsis really quickly because it's probably gonna change drastically. And I honestly find them all to be super cringe at this point. So, Leopard Dusk, no, none of the previous episodes will be rewritten or redone. I'm just going to simply add some more lighting if they need it and tweak a couple of little things, add some little effects here and there, but episodes that have already been complete, I'm not touching them because they're our history and I don't want to mess with them too much, you know? I like them the way they are, so they're staying. These episodes, however, have not even been produced at all, so we are going to go crazy. Oh, heck yeah, it is time for cringe. Glad you guys are excited, I'm not. So we have the synopsis. Fennel and Cosmo become quick friends once they're adopted into the same home and lived a colorful childhood in which they shaped their own system of sight for Fennel. Gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm very dyslexic, I'm doing my best. They both came from similar backgrounds and raised themselves in a way. Eventually, as they grew older, Fennel began to have feelings for his friend, and May helped him free those emotions from his sore chest. Cosmo may have declined, but that didn't mean they couldn't have a bond of that beyond relationships. With the adoption of a new puppy, Fennel and Cosmo mend the awkwardness of their relationship by raising Gardenia and teaching him everything they had taught themselves. But after the events of May and Fennel, Reapers confront Imp, and nothing is the same again. And so, it's okay, Koi, I got you. I told you, you can take a break if you need to. Cringe cult, yay! Slay. My foreshadowing is menacing? Oh, phew, I'm so sorry for what's to come in Brightside then. Anyways, does Fennel end up having a relationship at the end? He is pansexual. But I won't spoil it till we get to the end of this. So, I will say the part at the end of the synopsis with the Reapers is not happening anymore because the Reapers are getting their own season, so everything that involves the Reapers is being taken out of this. But I will show you guys what that was going to look like. Sonia, why do you animate by yourself? Because I really like the process, and also it's just a lot easier for me to keep track of everything if I do it myself. Obviously it's not full-blown animation, so it won't take too terribly long to do, and so I've always just I didn't really want to have an art team. I just wanted to do it myself, make it authentically mine, and I think the results speak for themselves, so. Gosh. Too many cults? Nonsense! This is PetPyves! We're all about the cults, I say, looking at the camera, sweating at YouTube, like, please, God, don't shoot me. Okay. So, here's an interesting way that this episode's gonna go. I'm gonna turn on the spoiler thing because I'm about to tell you how this episode originally was. So, this episode starts off with the Reapers coming after Imp. And then you get Fennel's whole story, and it's from Fennel when he's a baby all the way up until the very end when they get Gardenia and they become a family, blah 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 blah. So then the episode ended with all of the Reapers hunting down Imp, and this whole thing happened. But obviously we're gonna save that for the third season. We're cutting all that out. So the very first scene of this episode was Shiva promoting Morven up a rank and saying, hey, I'm going to up your rank and you need to find Imp, and it's basically enticing Morven to find Imp because they know he's out there. And it's basically, that's the whole scene, is that he gets promoted and then he's like, thank you, Shiva, and then it, you know, the intro goes da 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 da. And Marcus, come here. It's like a, this is, anything you see highlighted in that teal color is going to be soulish. Emak is how they say come here. Oh, yo!
Strange news story time.
Oh,
On a
yay!
YouTube video I watched a while back, I heard about a guy called the Piggyback Bandit, which is a guy going around different high schools and tricking athletes into giving him piggyback rides. Dude is banned in 5 states. /SRS.
What? Killzone, I love your strange stories. That is really strange. I don't like that this grown dude is like tricking high schoolers. Obviously should be banned in 5 states, but that is a strange
Just
story.
wanted to say hi to the gang. Hi gang. Have some fruit, Holly.
Yay! Thank you, Comfort Crab. I'm hungry. Oh my gosh, 2 of the fruits went into Peeves' bowl. I only have 2. Peeves stole all of my— he stole 80% of what I just got. What a meanie. But thank you, Comfort Crab. I did get 1 blueberry, and I will cherish it forever. And welcome in, Blanket Boy. Oh goodness, are we gonna cry at the end of Origins? Yes, of course Horse plays, of course. If you're not crying by the end of every season of Origins, I'm failing you. So, back to what I was saying, this scene's gonna get cut. We are going to actually get rid of all this. And don't worry, I have copies of this saved, so when I go and delete stuff, it's fine. I think— hold on, I'm gonna get myself into a little writing pretzel here. Alright. I have been thinking about this particular scene for quite some time, and I think we should start from the future. Because a lot of these old episodes go in a format of, hey, we're gonna start with childhood, then the events of 12, and then the future, and it just goes like childhood 12 future, childhood 12 future, and it just kind of like goes in a pattern through every episode, and it gets very mundane. So I'm tired, I'm bored of that. Let's start with the future. Let's start with a scene that is like the future after 12 of Fennel reflecting back and then saying, hey, like, how did we get here? Like, I'm glad it's okay now, but it was a long journey to get here, sort of thing. And then it goes like intro, and then it's like, how did we get here? So, I think that would be a little more interesting rather than just like dumping the same like routine over and over in this every episode. It gets very annoying to me. As somebody who I can't imagine turning on a Netflix show and like watching every episode and it's basically the same thing but with different characters, I'd lose my mind. Like, there's no way that would happen. And so we're venturing into untold territory. Well, like, we gotta experiment a little bit, alright? We're making it better this time around. So, this scene is just gonna have Fennel, I think. Oh, Comfort Crab again, hello!
What are you doing, Piffs? Share your fruit.
I love how the voice says Peeves. Piffs. Yay! I got 2 of them this time! Okay, Peeves only got 1. Okay, good. We're getting some fruit in my bowl, even though my bowl is like way smaller than Peeves. Peeves is just a little hungry, but that's okay. Thank you, Comfort Crab. I've been blessed by God. What if Fennel met Morven? Eve Princess, I actually did have that happen in one of my rewrites. The thing is that they play the same voice actor, however. So I was like, I don't know about all that, but also I don't think Morven would have talked to Fennel during this episode. There is a future episode that Morven is going to talk to Mallow, specifically. But in this one, I think Fennel is more focused on being in the void with Imp than he is interrogating any of the vessels, because his order from Shiva was not to, interrogate vessels, but go after Imp, so he wouldn't have any reason to talk to Fennel. So I think we're gonna start off this scene, which, I do this in, like, pretty, I would say, professional formatting compared to some scripts. It's like movies in a way, but not exactly. So we start off with our name, and then a direction, and then the line. So I think what we're gonna do is I think it's gonna be, here, let's be smart. Let's write a description. The scene opens up to a black screen. Colorful dots begin to fade in, changing cues as Fennel describes his experiences with deep emotion. Alright, so that's gonna be what it looks like, okay? So it's gonna be like a black screen, and I feel like there's gonna be like some pretty atmospheric music. And then it's just gonna be the lights, the way that Fennel sees, quote unquote, the way that Fennel senses things. And I kind of wanted to go with the music. Like, I want to find a nice musical piece and have the little, you know, memories sort of show up in the way that Fennel sees them. And I want it to be very sound oriented. Like, I want all of this, the memories to be obviously sounds, because Fennel is blind. So we have a lot of opportunity to have a lot of fun with how these characters tell their stories, because it's from their perspective in Origins. So I think it's gonna be very sound based. So I actually might skip down. There's a scene in this script that might honestly fit in the beginning. Let's see here. There's a scene where they actually make up and everything. And that's actually the very last scene. But I don't know. There's like, I feel like there should be some sort of like, Fennel should be talking to someone, because rule number 1 of storytelling, don't start off anything with a narration, okay? Narration, the second you open up something and it goes, long ago, this happened, and there was a terrible war, and now we are facing the consequences. Like, the second you start a freaking story like that, it is like, yawn, I'm so over it. So, I don't want to do that. I'm not a narrator. That makes no sense for Fennel to talk to no one, to just be pouring his heart out. So I think he's going to be talking to Cosmo. I think he's going to be describing his experiences and talking to Cosmo. So, what inspired Fennel's sight system? That's a good question. What inspired Fennel's sight system is my own disabilities and how I perceive the world. And not, obviously I'm not blind, I don't see things with that sort of system, but the way that I function in my day-to-day life and how different I feel I experience things compared to others, and like how vivid things are in my mind, like definitely inspired how deep Fennel feels, for sure. So, but the actual color-based system is something that I personally think about when I can't really see very well with my glasses, without my glasses I mean. So when I was writing Fennel, I would honestly just take my glasses off and try to navigate around, like either my house or do simple tasks, and I would think about like, gosh, I can only see things in blobs, like I only see blobs, I'm super blind without my glasses, gosh, all I see is kind of colors. And like, I don't know if you've ever squinted your eyes or if you don't have very good eyesight and you've looked at Christmas lights before, but they're really pretty when you defocus slightly, and they just turn into these little blobs, these little like blurs of circles. And that's kind of what inspired me to do that for Fennel, is that, you know, not so much be able to see those things, but feel those things in that same kind of wondrous way, if that makes any sense. But that's where that came from. Really good question. That's fantastic. I'm glad I got to explain that. So, let's see. Now I have to think of something that Fennel would be saying to Cosmo. They like to spend a lot of time outside. So of course I think it would be really cool if they were like stargazing, but obviously Fennel can't see the stars. But I think it would be really cool if we had a stargazing scene and it's like from the outside's perspective of Fennel and Cosmo, their backs are to the camera and they're looking up at the stars, and Cosmo can see all the stars and constellations, and maybe from Cosmo's perspective you can see all of the memories in the constellations, but then they like fade into all of the different colors of what Fennel sees. Does that make any sense? Hold on, let me see if I can write that down. Fennel and Cosmo have their backs to the camera. They are peering up at the stars as they chat. Cosmo sees the memories Fennel is recalling in the constellations above, while Fennel feels those same memories with his, I'm gonna call it color, what if I used to call it something? It wasn't color vision, obviously. It was like, I'm gonna say color sensation. Yeah, that'll be very visually cool and, you know, interesting. It's not a narration, Hey Cosmo, have you ever wondered what's past the sky? Good lord. You know what? I think it'd be very symbolic if Fennel wasn't the first one to talk. I think it'd be really cool if Cosmo was the first one to speak in this. Because this is from Fennel's perspective, and the way that their characters work, I feel that Fennel would allow Cosmo to speak first. Especially when it comes to them going through this whole thing of rejection and them trying to like still build on their friendship and kind of work past the crush thing. Which I hope this episode can offer some help with, because I know it can be quite difficult for a lot of people when they have crushes and they get rejected, and hopefully we can offer some good help with that, you know? When did I get my first drawing tablet, Horse Plays? I got it back in, I want to say, 2017. Maybe 2016, but I'm pretty sure it was 2017. I always had an iPad, but my first tablet was my Wacom, and I got that in 2017. Color Clarity, that would be a great name. I'm gonna actually call it that. Thank you, Mr. Pink. That's a good idea. Color Clarity. Alright. Cosmo, everything the light touches is our kingdom. For real. Okay. Alright. So, boy. If Cosmo's gonna speak. Cosmo is timid. I'd imagine this is gonna be quiet. They're having a quiet moment. Oh boy. So being timid and quiet. Boy, my brain. I can't think of the directions sometimes, so I'll just put a couple and then I'll skip and then I'll come back and be like, oh, this is how you should probably mention this. So they're staring up at the stars. It's probably very quiet in the beginning. Like I said, it's like, ooh. I think we should do some voiceover here and have like voiceover of memories. And then it like melts into reality. So let's do that. Voice over of memories of their shared past dreamily flow in and out of the scene until the present melts into focus. Alright, so let's stop judging my grammar. Okay, that's real. So for the voiceover, let's do little bits and bobs of, let's do some lines from 12. Let's have some events from 12. So, I'm trying to think of the most impactful lines that happened in 12 between Fennel and Cosmo. I think it's gonna be that one line of like, when Cosmo just says, "I'm not gay," like that hurt. That was like direct. So I think we're gonna start it off with, referencing 12. How would you describe that? That feeling of knowing you're gonna break somebody's heart. Oh. I wouldn't say it's gentle. Holding back slightly? Yeah, I don't know. Painful. Sad, I guess. We're just gonna put that for now. I'll go back and make that a little fancier. I'm trying to remember exactly what he says. I don't know what hurts worse. Is it, I'm not gay or you're like a brother to me? Because both hurt. Both are like, bleh. Gosh, dude, these are the tough decisions. Dread. Thank you, Sensei Sushi. Dread. Thank you. Beautiful. Reluctance. Damn, you guys are great. Reluctant. Thank you, thank you. This is so much easier with you guys. I should do this all the time. Alright, let's see. Both? Both in the same sentence. That you're like my brother. Yeah, that would be a good one. You're like a brother to me. I think would be nice. It would be like, you know, not the same exact audio from 12, but it would be a reference to it. And it'd be like, you know, you're like a brother to me, and it echoes. And then Fennel's gonna respond, which I don't remember how Fennel responded to that. I think it was just kind of like, oh, okay. But perhaps for this, we can change the narrative slightly. And have it be not exactly referencing the exact moment, like, anymore. Like, we can jump between different quotes, but make it a new scene, if you know what I mean. You're like, ... a brother to me. Disappointed. Hurt. To the side. And we'll do the, oh! And then I'll say, yeah. I guess you're right. Cosmo's not homophobic, he's just asexual, and he doesn't know it yet, but he's gonna find that out through this episode that we're working on. Don't worry. He's not being homophobic. Okay, we got all the homophobia out in Rose's episode with Rose's mom. And then I'm gonna put, there's a brief pause. And that's a description. We write the descriptions in italics. And then Fennel will start speaking again. And this time we're not going to be referencing 12, but perhaps a conversation that happened after 12. So Fennel's probably going to go into recalling some things. This is where they're going to start talking about the memories. So, you're like a brother to me. Which I will often, when I'm doing these things, read them out loud and take my pauses and like see if it sounds natural. So if I start doing that, that's why. The heart what it wants or something. Yeah. Cosmos is not straight, no. Cosmos is ace arrow actually. These cats, dude. Right, we love the drama cats on this channel. So we have, you're like a brother to me. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. And then pause, painful pause. We really have done everything together. You know, like saying like, you know, like, we are like brothers, but not, you know, repeating the phrase, we are brothers, because we don't want everything to be super repetitive. So, we have done pretty much everything together. You taught me how to feel colors. Which is true. We will see that. Oh god. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be talking about Gardenia right now. Voice the lines. Yeah. Oh, Shine, hello!
The sun is shining. Fennel is falling the end. Good day for everyone.
Oh no. Oh my god, I got 2 fruits, let's go. Thank you, Shine. I thought that was funny that you said the sun is shining, and I'm like, your name is Shine Trek. But thank you. Fennel is falling, and falling hard, and gonna fall down and be sad, so yikes. So yeah, I guess you're right. We've done pretty much everything together. You taught me how to feel colors. Kept me out of trouble. Heck, saved my life on occasions. On many occasions. You taught me how to feel colors, kept me out of trouble. Heck, saved my life on many occasions. Of course, I find you... Of course I find your... Oh, what am I gonna say here? He's basically gonna talk about how, like, oh, you are annoying sometimes, but I still love you. Let's see. Fennel starts gaslighting Cosmo. Villain arc Cosmo. Reality check. That'd be so funny. Just being like, you're going to love me, and here's why. No, you already love me, Cosmo. You're just in denial. Like, oh my god, Fennel toxic arc. That'd be so funny. Oh my god. The thought that them raising a child will never leave my mind. Okay, look, you'll understand my drama in just a moment. Can I make a villain arc AU? Of course, Blanket Boy. You guys can make as many AUs as you want. I have a little fan page on my website. You can post your fanfiction on there. I will love it, please, God. If it's good enough, I'll pitch it to the voice actors. But you guys want to voice this? So, like, yeah, go for it. It'd be very fun. Did Fennel almost die at one point? Yes! Actually, on a few occasions. Of course I find your constant... What does he do? Pestering. Of course I find your constant pestering. Because, like, Fennel speaks with, like, a little bit of a properness to him. He like, uses a lot more big words, if that makes sense. I don't know if anybody's caught on to, like, the way the characters speak or their dialect, but, like, Fennel definitely has a more proper tone to him. Of course, I find your constant pestering to be a little annoying at times, which will emphasize the little because I said it like that, and I think that would work.
Help,
Oh.
I'm so scared you have no idea.
Oh?
I mean, it'll be amazing, but I'm still scared. Can't wait to cry my eyes out. I mean that lovingly.
Oh, Fizzy! Yes, don't be too scared. Origins isn't too bad. Definitely, like, has its moments, obviously, but it is, it's not nothing to be scared of. I think you'll find a lot of closure in the stories, and you'll be very full by the end, like, full-hearted, I feel. Okay, of course I find your constant pestering to be a little annoying at times, but... Ag. I know you're just looking out for me, like a brother would. It's just that I don't know. See, this is the part where I'm gonna have Fennel dive slightly back into, like, I don't feel that way. And then the whole episode is going to be about him realizing he doesn't have to feel any kind of way. Like, he keeps putting this pressure on himself that he needs to be like, no, 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 we're family. No, 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 we're like this. Nah. And, like, how much that's really not helping him with the whole crush ordeal. So... Rose's episode had you bawling. I'm sorry. That was mean of me. But look, realistically, not everybody can have a happy ending, okay? Sorry. This one will be a happy ending, though. You guys are making funny. Origins isn't too bad! Rose, screaming, crying, throwing up. I'm like, yeah, anyways. Like a brother would. It's just that, I don't know. Is that really the best term to describe us? Alright, so we're gonna put some direction on this. So we're gonna do reminiscing. We're gonna say quite serious. Well, maybe quite shy. Or not so much serious, just shy. Melting into true feelings. So we've pretty much done everything together. You tell me how to feel colors, keep me out of trouble, heck, saved my life on many occasions. Maybe multiple. I like the word multiple, because like the multiple occasions, multiple splits up many occasions. It's like one syllable doesn't feel right to me. So, save my life on multiple occasions. Of course, I find your constant pestering to be a little annoying at times, but I know you're just looking out for me, like a brother would. It's just that, I don't know, is that really the best term to describe us? And then I'm gonna say, oop, this is where the genius is cooked again. How would you describe us? Then. And then that's when it's gonna fade into reality. That's when it's gonna fade, and the echoiness is gonna stop, and they're gonna be sitting there in dead silence looking up at the stars. So... quiet, distant, and somewhat heartbroken. Ha! Whoo! This is fun. Alright, so... now we're gonna put the direction. The echoing memories fade into the night as the peaceful Brazil ambience fills in the silence between them. Which, I know only I'm gonna read this part and that the cast is only gonna read this part, but this is genuinely a very helpful tip when you're writing scripts. Write it like a book. Make it like it is a book, and so when you go back and you're trying to set up your scene and find music and la la la, you can say, oh yeah, they're in Brazil. Maybe I should find some rainforest sound effects to put in the background, you know, specific to that region. And I know nobody else is gonna see this but, you know, me and now you because I'm sharing it, but it's important to me. I think putting these little things in here makes it like a story. So. What is going on in the chat? Oh, Willow is best boy. I agree, Dragon Blood fan. I love Thistle's story. Thistle's so freaking cool, man. Oh. How would you describe us? 20 minutes of silence. That would be so awkward. And at the very end of the 20 minutes, Fennel just goes, gay. And then it just cuts to black. That's it. Oh my god. Oh, Fizzy, that's so cool! Brazil is a wonderful place, and I don't know, I just, when it came to the representation I wanted from that continent, I was like, you know, because I have a vessel in like every continent, and I was like, you know, most people go with like, you know, more of the Central American countries, but I was like, oh, Brazil is just really underrated, so, and they don't have enough rep, so I went ahead and added that in. Yeah, there is a chart, Rose Gray. It's a little old. I don't know how well it's held up at this point, but yes, there is like I actually have Redbubble designs of them holding their flags as well. We need an edit of that. I can make it. I've already made some Origins spoofs with the trailer and stuff for season 1. We can totally make that, and I'll just have Funnel's voice actor Nate. I'll have him say the word gay at the end just to make sure we can make the spoof. Should be very funny. Oh gosh, okay. Hello Tyler, welcome in. So the echoing memories fade into night as the peaceful Brazil ambience fills the silence between them. Cosmo is the first to speak after a while. Right. So that's when Cosmo's gonna say something else. So let's review. We have the scene opens up to a black screen, colorful dots begin to fade in, changing hues as Fennel describes his experiences with deep emotion. Fennel and Cosmo have their backs to the camera, they are peering up at the stars as they chat. Cosmo sees the memories Fennel is recalling in the constellations above, while Fennel feels those same memories with his color clarity. Voiceover memories of their shared past dreamily flows, that needs to be an S, in and out of the scene until the present melts into focus. You're like a brother to me. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Long pause. We've done pretty much everything together. You taught me how to feel colors, kept me out of trouble, heck, saved my life on multiple occasions. I'm gonna say heck even. Like, heck, even saved my life. Yeah, that makes sense. Of course, I find your constant pestering to be a little annoying at times, but I know you're just looking out for me. Like a brother would. It's just that, I don't know, is it really the best term to describe us? How would you describe us then? And then it's like the chirping, foresty sounds. And now we have to figure out where we, like, what time period do we want this scene to take place? How far in the future do we want this scene to take place? And like, what are they going to talk about specifically? Because there's a lot they could talk about. Because the whole struggle of this episode is them trying to define their labels and find the meaning of family to them. Because right now, they're not quite sure what that is. And this is their episode of defining who they are and what their relationship actually is. We're gay, we're stargazing together right now! You're so right, that is really gay, but look. I guess I do have to spoil this now. I am introducing something interesting with Fennel and Cosmo's story that I feel most people aren't too familiar with, but it has become very important to me in the coming years. There are a lot of different types of relationships in this world, and not every single relationship is just going to be two people, super intimate. That's not what all relationships are. So, there are some relationships out there that are queer platonic. And queer platonic is basically partners, but not in a like super duper romantic way, but just in a let's live our lives together, let's take care of each other and be there for each other partnership. So I think they're going to figure themselves out enough to say, let's try that. Because the thing that I want to get out of Fennel's story is that, you know, rejection happens. Not everything works out the way you plan it to. But there's always a way. There's always a way to persevere, and there's always a way to move on and heal. So, I kind of want to introduce this idea that they're like, hey, maybe we're doing this all wrong. Maybe none of these terms, these labels aren't fitting because we're boxing ourselves in. And let's try this instead. I want the episode to end with not a solution. I want it to end with the audience saying, oh, so they're just gonna keep trying different labels, they're just gonna keep trying to find themselves, and that's how their story goes. Like, I don't want it to be like, this is what they find, the end. Like, I want there to be not a clear ending, because then it could be open for interpretation of, oh, do they embark on a queer platonic relationship? Do they eventually say, you know, Fennel's like, I'm Pan, you're Ace, we could still have a relationship? Like, I want it to end on a note that it's not certain. I know that sounds silly, but that's my idea. Oh yeah, I have been skimming through this script plenty of times, but I think what they're gonna try and talk about here is the tension, because right now it's very tense for them in the very beginning. Not a queer ending. Clear ending. Sorry, it's a queer ending. It's gonna be queer. Let me make that clear. It is queer, okay. Oh no, please. English was going to be my major in college, and then I stopped going to college so I could do this, which was a good idea. Okay, so I'm wearing like 3 jackets because it's freaking cold. Taking off one of them. So, let's see here. I think they're gonna talk about Gardenia, because what happens is the owners that adopted them adopt this dog, and this dog is really, really annoying. Like, he is like very needy. He has a lot of problems. Like, he's like essentially like a high energy, high need child, and this child is just sort of dumped on them, and they feel obligated to teach Gardenia and, like, you know, be patient and, you know, try to be as welcoming to Gardenia, to their house and their family as possible. But it's really hard because they're not getting along after 12. Like, Fennel and Cosmo are having issues. So, I think what they're going to talk about here is going to be very parent-like, and it's going to be very much so Cosmo being like, we can't keep acting like this in front of him. It's not a good example. We're not teaching him anything. We're holding him back. So I think that's what they're going to talk about in this first scene. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna have them have like a parental kind of sit down here. Because it's pretty far in the future. Like, I don't want this to seem like it just happened after the events of 12. Like, 12 has happened a little while ago, about this point, when they get Gardenia. And so, it's kind of that thing where, like, Cosmo thought, oh, we're fine, like, we moved past that a long time ago, but Fennel's like, no, I haven't moved past that. Like, I'm sad that you did. And like they're having issues. They're having issues. They're adults having issues. So oh, I know. I thought about adding some different dialects and things like that. I know I have the owners call Fennel Bribon, which is rascal. And they call him Bribon, which is cute. And so I like including things like that, especially with like the owners and stuff, because obviously it makes more sense. So is Gardenia gonna be gay as well? Gardenia's way too young to understand like any of that stuff, but that's why Fennel and Cosmo are like super stressed about it. They're like, hey, like we're not really setting a good example for Gardenia to be himself, because we can't figure ourselves out. Like we're not doing a good job of that. So, I exist to make you suffer. No, Gardenia definitely is neurodivergent, doesn't understand that he's causing damage, and is also just pretty young and has gone through a lot and is honestly pretty traumatized. So, like, it's just honestly that overexcited, like, going over the top, and, like, then they shut him down, and then he gets really upset. So I have so much depth to these characters. So, is Cosmo taller than Fennel? I always imagine Fennel to be taller. Fennel's very lanky, and I imagine, you know, Fennel to be quite tall, and Cosmo to be the shorter one, personally. Imp would be a great babysitter if Imp wasn't busy during, you know, this whole entire thing being yelled at by Morven. In a void. So, okay, they're having an argument. So, we're gonna change the tone of this. It's gonna be stern, serious, like it's gonna completely change from, like, them having this deep, heartfelt, like, who are we? And then it's just Cosmo, like, obviously frustrated. Alright. You know what? I know I said I wanted Fennel to speak first. Fennel, what? Cosmo to speak first, but Cosmo does speak first in this scene, so now I'm gonna have Fennel's gonna fill in this void. I'm going to have a sentence that Fennel starts, and it's gonna sound like the answer to Cosmo's question. I like doing things with my scripts like this a lot. It makes it very interesting, because it's like, oh, well, Fennel's not answering the question that was just in the flashback, but it could sound like that. So, we're gonna do hurt. Gosh, I don't know what else to say. Okay, we're gonna wait on that. This is just how I roll. So, just a sprinkle of trauma. Whoops! Oh no! That's a whole sprinkle container. I better get another container. Just a one little more sprinkle from this container. Oops, I dumped a whole other container. Where did all these other containers come from? Oh no, they're falling out of the cabinet into the soup that is this poor character. Oops. Okay, listen, we all know I love traumatizing my characters, but they're okay. They turn out alright, maybe. It's okay. Gosh. Okay, so something that, like, will answer the question, how do you describe us? So, something that could relate to the past and present that describes Fennel and Cosmo. All my word that comes to my mind is broken. So, I think I'm just gonna have it go broken. Long pause. Whoa, gosh. Oh my gosh, that jump scared me.
Yo, I just finished cleaning dental supplies for my father all morning and afternoon. How's your scripts going?
Oh, Pastel, hello! I'm so happy to hear from you. Also, cleaning dental supplies sounds terrifying. I'm so scared for you. I hope that was an easy endeavor and wasn't at all horrifying. I don't like the dentist. But, scripts are going good. We're having a good time. We're traumatizing characters, you know, live. That's what we do on this channel. Long pause, followed with a sigh. Broken. There isn't a single creator who doesn't traumatize their characters. Listen. Alright, so how would you describe us then? And then it fades. And then broken. Everything's felt broken since then. And he's referring to 12. Alright, so this is the part where they're gonna start to get a little grrr, bark at each other. So we have everything's felt broken since then. Because it is. We have to fix this funnel. We can't keep going on like this in front of Gardenia. In font? No, in front. There we go. Safeguard my characters out of spite. Aww. That's so sweet. Good for them. They're so lucky. You have characters who aren't traumatized? Wow, that's like honestly a genuinely hard challenge. Pet peeve character challenge. Find one that isn't traumatized. Alright, so we have to fix this funnel. We can't keep going on like this in front of Gardenia. We're not teaching him anything useful by arguing all the time. Okay. Origins, but everybody's voiced by PetPyves. Oh god. That's just Brightside. That's just Brightside is essentially like we have the player characters, but everybody else is voiced by me, so that already exists, technically. LGBT, good story, great art. Aw, ingredients make a perfect story for 12, but then I accidentally added an extra ingredient. Angst! Reality check, yes!
Hey Holly, do you have any tips for folks like me who are writing from the journal/diary perspective?
My best advice if you're going with a diary, really pay attention to your character's voice and the language they use, the diction, everything about it. Don't be afraid to make it super formal. You can repeat things a lot. My best advice if you're writing a diary or journal perspective, handwrite it yourself. Handwrite it yourself and don't really plan it before, but just sort of improvise and see what comes off the top of your head naturally. And if there's repetition, if there's spelling errors, if there's, you know, incorrect grammar, leave it. It's authentic. So that would be a good exercise for you, is to actually write it in person IRL first and then transfer it over. D&D characters are specifically meant to be traumatized, Duststorm. Like, that is what they're there for. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion! Jade, your memes are off the freaking charts tonight. Oh, hedonistic, you're absolutely right. That is so true. We write traumatized fictional characters and act our dark urges in a safe environment, yes. I have thought about making a 12 game. I have, Smooze Magoose, I have thought of that. I just don't know how to code games. Alright, so. Broken. Everything's just felt broken since then. Because it is. We have to fix this, Fennel. We can't keep going on like this in front of Gardania. I'm not teaching him anything useful by arguing all the time. Oh, and then I'll say, except, you know. And then what they were previously arguing about. So, we're not teaching anything useful by arguing all the time, except, you know, how to bottle your feelings up until they explode. Because that's what's happening. Alright, and now I'm gonna have Fennel get a little spicy. And I will literally put spicy as the thing, because I think that's funny. So that's when Fennel is going to say, we're gonna pick one specific word, because I actually took courses on communication and the psychology of communication, and the thing about communication is that it's permanent. What you say is permanent, you can never take it back. And when conversation, typically there's only a few words that people will focus on and create a response around. So, Cosmo has said a lot of these, what I call them, like, what are they called? I call them trigger words, which triggers the response. Not as in, like, they're triggering, but as in they trigger a response, and they generate some sort of response. So, the trigger word of this sentence is feelings. Cosmo says feelings, and that's what Fennel is going to focus on.
For some reason, I'm very tempted to animate a fake animate trailer using the audio from some animate trailer, except it's going to be about James the Cheeto Man.
Yes! James the Cheeto Man, let's go! I think I said that in my video from last week. It's like, James is in his Cheeto arc. When's it time for my Cheeto arc? Oh my god! Yes! I love that meme, Eve Princess! I can't wait for you! That audio lives rent-free in my head. It's so good. I bet you like they were broken, Cosmo. No! Alright. So, feelings. We're focusing on the word feelings. Feelings. How to ball up your feelings until they explode. Because I'm trying to think of how Fennel would respond here, in the sense that he wants to say something about him having feelings and they're not going away. Okay, so, well, even after they explode, feelings never really go away. You know that, Cosmo. Spicy. Ooh, somewhat bitter. Wait, I just described two different, no, it just needs to be one thing or the other. It's not bitter or not, it can't be bitter and spicy. That's two different flavors. That doesn't work. So, somewhat bitter. Angsty. Getting upset. Hurt. We're gonna say distant. I forgot to fill this part in. Hurt, distant. Reflecting on the past. Right. We're not teaching him anything useful by arguing all the time, except you know how to ball up your feelings until they explode. Well, even after they explode, the feelings never really go away. You know that, Cosmo. And this is a lesson I'm going to put into this episode that I feel is very important. There's an anxiety response, and it's called mind reading. And it's a response that some people do with anxiety, where they will predict things and they will try and guess how other people feel, how they're going to react, and what they're going to say and do. So the lesson of this episode is going to be stop mind reading, because what Fennel is doing out of anxiety is basically mind reading Cosmo, and Cosmo hates that. So, and Cosmo's also not a mind reader back, because Fennel is doing the thing where he's saying, I'm upset about this thing, da 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 da, and is dancing around what he's actually trying to talk about. All Fennel has to say in this moment is, yeah, I'm still really upset that you rejected me. But Fennel says, the feelings never really go away. Everything's felt broken since then. And Fennel's not really being honest and not really actually saying what he means. So of course Cosmo is frustrated. So I think that's what's gonna come up at this point. And we're gonna have him say, no, I don't know that. Fennel. No, Fen. We'll say Fen. We'll go less stern on that one. I feel like saying Fennel is like really he's pissed. You know what? Actually, let's fix this. Let's make the Fen up here. We'll make that Fen. We'll make Fennel down here because he is a little upset. So we'll say, no, I don't know that, Fennel. I'm not a mind reader. I had no... Okay, hold on, I have to think. Brain work. Water. Water's good. I will do that now. Oh my gosh, Only Potatoes, you have an imp shirt! That's so cool! All of the 12 merch I had got, like, totally destroyed, in a horrific incident of terror where my washing machine caught on fire with my clothes in it. It was a whole thing. But I lost all of my merch, my own merch. I still have to replenish it. Oh dear. Glad there's still some people out there wearing the merch though, because I can't even wear my own because my washing machine ate it, but that's that's a story for another time. I'm not a mind reader. That happened so long ago. So we have, even after they explode, the feelings never really go away. You know that, Cosmo. No, I don't know that, Fennel. I'm not a mind reader. That happened so long ago. And you never even said a word after it happened. And then I'm gonna have, I love how happy the freaking music is while I'm ripping their souls out. This is how I work, though. Goodness. So, now I'm gonna say, shot from Fennel's perspective. Perspective. The scene bursts into green, which green is the color of fear for Fennel. Around the ooh, I can spell silhouette, hold on. Oh yeah, no, nailed it, obviously, yeah, definitely. I got it. The scene ever sitting green around the silhouette of Cosmo. As Fennel bursts with tension. I'm gonna say bursts with a yell. Fennel shouting. Upset. angry. Because I was scared. And then I think I'm gonna have, beat, which is another way of saying pause. Beat. I'm gonna copy this. So, because I was scared, I don't know if I could handle you rejecting me again. I wouldn't want to risk our friendship like that. And now we're gonna do the thing again, where we pick a trigger word, which is friendship. Because Cosmo's insisting that they're brothers, Fennel's insisting that they're friends, their labels are all over the place, this is where the tension's coming from. Alright, so we're gonna have Cosmo say, we don't want to risk our friendship like that. Is this friendship? Is this more than that? Is this friendship? Sometimes things work in threes for me. So it's like, sometimes I'll do 3 questions. So like, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? So is this friendship? Because repetition works like that. Is this friendship? Is this more than that? What is this exactly? Fen. We're gonna go frustrated with this. We're gonna go a big exasperated. Tired even. Alright, this one's gonna be calmer than clamor. No. Sorry, I'm bad at writing, I'm sorry. Not bad at writing, just bad at typing. Calmer than before. Let's see. Calmer than before. Honest. And we're gonna go a little... I'm gonna say it's timid, emotional. We're just gonna emotional. Alright. The Jimmy. I don't understand it either. This person says nothing else on my channel but meet Jimmy, and I don't understand who Jimmy is, but they're on all my videos. I appreciate the comments every video. That's really cool, and you're very dedicated to your craft. You're like one of the first people to watch my videos and comment that. I'm just very confused as to why, but that's alright. I am also feeling clam tonight. God, okay. He's so clam now. Oh god, look, I started the calamity. Beautiful. Alright, anyways, is this friendship? Is this more than that? What is this exactly, Fen? I think the proper English is what exactly is this? Which we're not going to use caps. Caps are not good. We're going to use italics. They're a little bit nicer. Like I said, it's broken. Alright, and then my brain's going too fast and I can't think of the thingy, so I'll come back to the stage directions momentarily. Stage directions, blind directions, whatever you want to call them. Like I said, it's broken. And let's fix it. What is neurodivergent? Neurodivergency is essentially everybody who isn't neurotypical, which could fall under an umbrella of many things. Neurodivergency can be ADHD, it can be autism, it can be sensory processing disorders, it can be even dyslexia, or anything that goes off of the path of what people define as quote-unquote normal. So anybody who is neurodivergent, sometimes even some mental health disorders such as bipolar, BPD, schizophrenia, things like that can be labeled as neurodivergency. And there's a lot of different neurodivergent characters and stories on my channel because I'm neurodivergent, I'm autistic. So it's some people like to say neurodivergency as a more of a broad term, so they don't necessarily have to say exactly what they are. I know when I'm in a public setting, saying that I'm autistic, I usually get some looks, I get some judgment. But if you say something like neurodivergency, I typically get it, it's a little bit more well received, and it's a little more private, I feel. So I don't have to, you know, ultimately just dump out everything. Hey, by the way, I'm autistic, you know, right off the bat. It's sort of a little bit easier. It's a nice umbrella term. Yeah, PTSD does fall under it, yes. It's a lot. It's a very broad term. It's a very broad thing to describe many different people and their experiences, so I use it a lot. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna change this to then we have to fix it. Alright, we're gonna do sigh. You're right. Where should we start? I think that'd be a good place to, at least to leave the scene alone, and I can come back and fix it later. And that'll be a good place to put the intro. So, intro comes in a little late, actually. Well, maybe, maybe just put the intro in the beginning. Nah, it could go there. That's fine. It's only scene one. Okay, well listen, I told you we're starting in the future where the angst is, because we gotta grab the audience in. We don't want to start off all cheery, happy, whatever. You gotta have conflict. You have to start off the episode with conflict so it gets resolved. So, oh, I have the tier list. I do have a tier list ready, and I was gonna make a couple of streams about that. So, yeah, so we have this whole scene we just wrote, which I will quickly go through it again. They're watching the stars, but there's memories going by. This is the audio that you hear is, you're like a brother to me, and oh yeah, I guess you're right. We pretty much have done everything together. You've taught me how to feel colors, kept me out of trouble, heck, even saved my life on multiple occasions. Of course, I find your constant pestering to be a little annoying at times, but you're just looking out for me, like a brother would. It's just that, I don't know, is that really the best term to describe us? How would you describe us then? And then it fades into the present, and Fennel says broken. Everything's just felt broken since then. Because it is. We have to fix this, Fen. We can't keep going on like this. Ooh, you know what I just saw? Repetition. Repetition. We gotta fix that. Okay. We can't keep going on like this in front of Gardenia. We're not teaching him anything useful by arguing all the time, except, you know, how to bottle up your feelings until they explode. Well, even after they explode, the feelings never really go away. You know that, Cosmo. No, I don't know that, Fen. I'm not a mind reader. That happened so long ago, and you never even said a word after it happened. And because I was scared. And then there's like, pause. I don't know if I could handle you rejecting me again. I wouldn't want to risk our friendship like that. Is this friendship? Is this more than that? What exactly is this, Fen? Oh.
We gotta have some conflict. Holly says to her cultists that she ties down the cat to a train track.
I did not! There is no cats on train tracks ever. What do you mean? I'm not... There's only been dogs on train tracks, guys. It's okay. I'm kidding. Oh my god. No, you're so right though. I'm so mean to them. But anyways, thank you, Pink, for that. Is this friendship? Is this more than that? What exactly is this? Like I said, it's broken. You know what? I don't think I should have the it's like I said. I think it should just be it's period broken period. Now I'm debating on how mean I want this to be. Cause I'm wondering, cause I don't know if this being repetitive is a good thing. I don't think it is. You know what? That ending right there. And then the intro starts and you're like, what? Like, nothing's resolved. I kind of love that. I kind of love that it just, nothing is like, ends off on a peaceful note. It is just, boom, cut. Oh yeah, Uni, I hope your next flight goes good. Mwah. But yeah, that sounds good to me. So now we're gonna get into the part, that took a really long time because I was rewriting that entire scene. But now we're here. Now we're getting into the beginning. This is original content. This is original ass script stuff, alright? This is old as all frick. I am tired of this script, but we will go through it. So, the entire first scene begins in a wave of audio. Crazy rainbow waves of dots are given as visuals, since we are in the point of view of young Fennel, who is blind. At this time, he is unable to identify colors and lives in slight confusion. Okay, I don't like this scene. I'm gonna tell you right off the friggin' bat, I do not like this scene. I don't like this scene. To me, I don't like this scene because it's just sad and honestly going to be very difficult for me to portray with visuals. So I think I'm going to get rid of most of this scene. Because it's like this whole thing about Fennel being in a cage and not understanding what's going on, like being like essentially taken like as a feral kitten and adopted into a home and having to be domesticated and all of that good stuff. To me, I don't like this scene because it's just Fennel living in darkness. And to me, it feels a little too real. I don't really find it comfortable as somebody who's disabled. I don't think it's a good idea to show on screen a time where somebody was struggling super, super, super bad with their disability. So to me, I'm like, okay, like, I don't like that. I think, to me, it feels like I'm calling upon somebody else's, like, extremely bad event and being like, let's show everybody what that was like. Like, it just feels not good to me in my heart. So I'm gonna get rid of this whole part. We are just going to have oh, well, guess what? Scene gone. Boom. Done. We're gonna kill this scene. This is now going to be the new scene too. We're just gonna open it up when Fennel and Cosmo meet. Cause something that I've learned from Brightside and being a GM in TTRPGs, we need to cut to what's important. We don't need the fluff, we don't need the boring stuff, we need to cut to what's important, and what's important to this episode is Fennel and Cosmo. Because the scene prior to this was Fennel and Cosmo arguing. Why would we go to a scene from Fennel's, like, childhood? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. So we're just gonna go straight to when Fennel and Cosmo meet. We're gonna go to a point in which it wasn't broken. So, we are going to... I'm wondering how we're going to open the scene, because right now it's like I think this works pretty well. It's Fennel jolts awake in a panic. A commotion can be heard, which I imagine this will be all from Fennel's point of view, so it's gonna be a completely black screen with just dots fading in and out of where Fennel hears things, and all that good stuff. And then, so like, I guess ASMR. Origins ASMR. And then they're like getting everything ready. They set down the cages, and then they're like, oh, we've got a surprise for you. And then the cage opens, and then that's when Fennel and Cosmo meet. But honestly, I think it'd be a lot funnier if the intro's done, and then it's just both of them screaming. Like the younger one's going, ah! Like right off the bat. I think that'd be really fun. So I think I'm gonna cut out all this stuff. Alright, I'm gonna keep this little description and rewrite it. So we're going to have the screen is pitch black as the young cats, oh my goodness gracious, cats meet for the first time. Screeching as they burst from the cages they were brought to their new home. Alright, sounds good enough. It's not whimsical, but it's something. So they comically scream in fear. Wah! And then they dart back into their cages. And they both are freaking out, like, you know, like, young Fennel's like, oh my god, it's a monster! Oh god, it's gonna eat me! And then Cosmo's like, why is he screaming? Why is he screaming? What the heck? And they're freaking out. And then Fennel's like, I'm gonna fight it! And then Cosmo's like, I have to apologize! And then they, like, run into each other. And then they're like, oh. Wow. You're just like me. I love this. Sniffler crying slightly out of fear. Poor Cosmo, gosh. Oh. And Fennel's like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't upset you. I was just scared. I thought I was your dinner. I thought I was yours. I promised I won't eat you, as long as you promise to do the same. And then they, like, make up and they're like, okay. Oh yeah, now I have to change this slightly, because I kind of want them to be adopted at the same time now, because originally the narrative was that, which I realized these two characters aren't in the scene anymore. Originally, Fennel was adopted first. And then when Fennel wasn't doing too good, they went and adopted another cat to help him, you know, kind of have somebody to communicate with. Alright, so I really like this little scene. I think this ties back pretty good because this is you have to think when you're writing stuff like this, you have to think of everything has to be symbolic. So in this scene that we just wrote, Cosmo's scaring Fennel. Fennel's scared of the feelings that he has for Cosmo. So when the first time they met, it's reversed, where Fennel's scaring Cosmo. So, like, that's what I want the symbolism to be, is that in the past, it was like this. In the present, it's like this. Like, flip-flop. So this scene worked out great, in my opinion, with the new scene. Love this. This can stay. Just going to have to change some of this stuff now. Which is just them basically becoming friends. So we can still reach that point through the scene. I think what I want to do instead of this whole part with the introducing the new house or whatever, I think what I'm going to do is going to be them, you know, I think Fennel, we already got established that Fennel is scaring Cosmo. But I think I want to take it a step further by making Fennel, like, really funny, in the sense that, like, I want Fennel to go on a tangent and sort of be like, oh no, like, we're doomed, we're stuck in here forever, oh my god, ah! Like, you know, ramp up Cosmo, and then Cosmo's like, oh my god, no, you think we're really stuck here forever? Oh god, and then, like, Fennel's like, okay, we have to think of a way to get out of here, so until then, we have to be friends. So I think that's how we're gonna rewrite this. We're gonna do that. So, I'm gonna have, instead of grim and quiet, we're going to have panicked, almost in a comedic way. Okay, we have to add something up here, hold on. Stand side by side now, Cosmo looks lost and right, nervously scanning the environment. Fennel stares blankly at Cosmo. Before suddenly shrinking in place, panicked. Or panicking, or wait, before shrinking in place, panicking. Let's see. I have to think of the way that Fennel speaks. He's younger, because he's spunky. He's actually quite spunky little rascal. He's definitely like a fighter. He's got spice to him. Make a new OC for season 2. I mean, trying to keep most characters that we already had. Season 3 will have some new characters though. We'll have some new Reapers and stuff, which will be fun. Put the fear of God in him? Oh my god! Gamers! Gamers! Oh. Two people with anxiety accelerating each other's panic. Yes, exactly! That's what we're going for. He looks me, and I look at him. Oh my god. Okay. Something I also need to fix about this script that I just realized had a brain blast. Is Fennel in the beginning, very beginning of this, doesn't really understand that he's blind. He's never saw it he's literally never saw it any other way. No pun intended. And so doesn't really understand that he's blind. And then Cosmo says it, and then Fennel's like, what does that mean? And then Cosmo's like, honestly, the wrong response is, oh, like, I didn't know you know that, I'm sorry. Like, I'm, like, saying you're sorry about it. So, gonna have to fix a little bit of that, which is coming up. I think we're gonna rev up the scene to be quite funny. So, I think we're gonna rev up the scene that they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna be friends until we get out of here. And then they're gonna be like, yeah. And then it's gonna build up, and they're gonna, like, prepare all of this stuff, and they're gonna be like, da-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. And then they, like, walk out of the cat door like it's nothing. And then they're like, oh. Oh, well, that was easy. And then they're just gonna be like, oh, alright, well, okay. And then, like, Fennel's gonna be like, oh wow, that was a tough one, and then Cosmo's gonna be like, bro, what? So like that's when that's gonna all start happening. So let's see, we gotta fix this part up here. Whoa! So we're gonna start that. Oh gosh, I have to think about, because like beforehand Fennel had a ton of family and stuff in the original one, but I don't think that's the case anymore. Oh my god. Oh, Sparkane, thanks for coming in and hanging out while you could. It's appreciated. Sorry, you didn't know you were normal. Yeah. It could be taken very badly. It's not a good way to talk to somebody who has a disability. Like, talking to people with disability 101, don't say you're sorry. Don't pity them. Don't downplay them like that. That's not a good response at all. What I'm trying to do with this episode is actually teach people the correct way to deal with that and like what's a good response to that. Because you also don't want to go the other direction of being like, wow, you must be so strong and like da da da. Like, that's also quite demeaning of disabled people, of being like, hey, like, you're like incredible and inspiring and blah blah blah. Like, it's so I'm gonna find the right response, and we're gonna put it in, and you know, we're gonna be respectful and we're gonna be good about it, and that's what we're gonna learn, is how to properly treat people with disabilities, because they are always mistreated. So that being said, back to the comedic scene leading up to this. So they're like standing there for a second, and I'm like random silence, and then Fennel's just like, ah, there's no way out of this cage, is there? We're doomed. Oh, we're gonna be trapped forever. Flopping over mid-sentence. Dramatic. There's no way out of this cage, is there? We're doomed! Oh, we're just gonna be trapped forever! Just flops down, and Cosmo's gonna be like, really think so? Forever? Deeply concerned, anxiety building, stress. Oh my god, they were cage mates. You guys in the memes, you're just, it's so wonderful. Thank you, Rose Gray, that's the best way to describe it. Thank you, thank you. We're human food! Oh my god, Jade, that's so funny! Oh my god. Oh my god. That's what they called the humans, they called them the big cats. Alright, so we're gonna change this because this conversation was completely different before. Dramatic. Playing it up. Wailing. Alright, so we're gonna say, those big cats over there took me away from my family. I'm guessing they did the same to you. And maybe... Oh, and now that they've trapped us, or now that they've got us right where they want us, I might actually take your inspiration there, Jade. I'm gonna say that they're gonna eat them, because I can't think of any other reason logically these cats would, like, be scared of the humans. These big cats over there took me away from my family. I'm guessing they did the same to you. Alright, we're gonna take away this. And now they got us right where they want us. They're gonna... I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse. saying like, oh god, they're gonna eat us is, I don't know what's worse. Either saying that or like, I can't think of anything worse, so like, that's just beautiful. Those big cats over there took me away from my family. I'm guessing they did the same to you, and now they've got us right where they want us. Oh dear. They're gonna eat us. Kitty stew, no! Not the babies. God, alright, so. Okay, now what's freaking out. Now he's gonna start freaking out. Crying. Panicked. I think panic falls under freak out. Crying. Comedic, in a way. Not a way, a way. There we go. Wow! I never even got to have a family. This is so sad. I'm laughing, but it's really sad. Goodbye, cold, cruel world. It's just them crying on the floor like nothing's even happening. Okay, I think I'm gonna have Fennel just like very funny stop, like crying and being like, wait, you never had a family? And the husband's gonna be like, no, and now we're gonna be eaten, and everything's terrible. And then Fennel's gonna be like, well, I'll be your family, and it'll be like, da-na-na-na, and that'll be like the start of their adventure. So, yeah, that'll be cute. Stopping the act. Deadpan. Wait, you never had a family? Alright, and then Cosmo's going to respond. Hopeless. Dramatic. No, and now I never. Oh, I'm saying never a lot. Never is being repeated a lot. I'm gonna say they're probably gonna eat us because I don't even want it to be certain that they're gonna eat them. Like it's just based off of assumptions. So. Achievement unlock, having a family. Wait, you never had a family? No, and now I never will because we're dinner. Comedic crying. I hope the voice actors have so much fun with this. Let's do dramatic, but in a quote playing along way. I don't know how else to describe that. So then wanna fulfill your last dying wish and we can be family before we're eaten. Trying to figure out how I want that to be said. We're dinner. Great! Listen, I had to change it. It's very funny. It's fucking... I'm sorry. It's very funny. Okay. Let's do... Perhaps we can fulfill your last dying wish by being family before we're eaten. Okay, so then, careful, quiet, sniffling a bit, gross. Yeah, that'd be really cool. At least until we, escape. Yeah. Let's make an escape plan. So that maybe if we don't die, you can still be family. And then I'll have young fennel, say confident, smiling. Deal! Boom! Wait, I thought it was lunchtime! That is a good line. Oh my god. What is this chat anymore? I don't know. We always turn something into, like, eating something you shouldn't. Like, one time they were saying they were gonna eat the beach from the finale of season 1. They were, like, eating the sand and stuff. I don't know. Chat, are you hungry? Do you guys want some of my berries? I can give you guys some of the blueberries I have in my bowl. Peeps isn't gonna share his, but I'll share mine. We don't have to eat the cats. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh dear. Okay, let's review this scene because I like this. How much emotional trauma has been added to this episode so far? It was only added at the beginning, Corwin. Don't worry. We're actually removing a lot of the trauma. I'm not gonna lie. We removed a lot of it. We're hungry for lore. Okay, look, we're having some goofy fun times right now. So let's review the scene that we just fixed. So scene 2 opens up with the cats coming out of the cages at the same time and going, "What?" And they like go back in. And they're like, "What the heck was that? Oh my god!" And then they both run out at each other and collapse. And then they're like, "Oh, you're just like me." And then they're like upset. And then he's like, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I was just scared. I thought it was your dinner." And then Cos was like, "I thought I was yours. I promise I won't eat you as long as you promise to do the same." Okay. And then they start to panic. Season 2, now with less trauma? Yes, that's how we're gonna advertise it. Exactly. Now you're getting it. Listen, we have to have some cute wholesomeness to balance out how spicy the beginning was. So now Fennels goes, "There's no way out of this cage, is there? We're doomed. Oh, we're gonna be trapped forever." Huh? Do you really think so? Forever? Those big cats over there took me away from my family. I'm guessing they did the same to you. And now they got us right where they want us. Oh dear, they're probably gonna eat us. Wow, I've never even got to have a family. Goodbye, cold, cruel world. Wait, you never had a family? No, and I never will because we're dinner. Perhaps we can fulfill your last dying wish by being family before we eat? Yeah, that'd be really cool. At least until we, escape, yeah, let's make an escape plan so that maybe if we don't die, we can still be family. Deal. Boom. Done. Beautiful. I like that a lot. It's funny. It's actually interesting. I like it a lot. It shows a lot of their little character. Because they're both shy, timid characters. So like it's fun to see them interact with each other. Alright. So now we have to fix this scene of them. Basically, they're going to go outside, and that's when they're going to start learning how to do the colors and stuff. So this is scene 3 now. So what's happening? I am scared. No! Okay, we would never do that to May or her family. No. Imp would not let that happen. He would straight up be like, nope, I'm going kill mode. Not happening. Yes, do be careful though in the chat. Alright, so... Ooh, okay, yeah. If everybody's not comfortable with what you're saying, please be mindful. I'm gonna have to time you out or worse, ban you, so be careful, please. Don't be too graphic. Okay. So this scene is going to be them gearing up to, like, escape the house. Which, I don't... There's a lot of ways we could do this. I, for some reason, imagine them, like, this is, like, totally not rational, but I imagine them, like, making newspaper hats and, like, taking, like, empty, like, paper towel rolls as swords and, like, essentially, like, going off on a quest, but I'm like, that makes no sense. Why would they go through all of that? So, the thing I think I want to do, because, I don't know. I don't want... Okay. My words. How many scenes are in this episode? Originally, there was... Let me see. There was 5. Most of the scenes in this episode were taken up by Reaper shenanigans that are now removed. My least favorite character in 12 in Origins? I was gonna say Imp, like my brain instantly was like, Imp. I hate that man. But no. There's a couple characters I do not enjoy. Like Reed's father. Sucks. Rose's mom. Sucks. And the thing that really irks me about them the most is the fact that they are very much so, like, real people. Like, those people could be real, and that's sucky, and I don't like thinking about that, so I don't like them. Who cares? It makes no sense. It's fun. You're right, Fizzy. Okay, but no, they go outside, and that's when they're like, oh, like, Cosmo's like, you're blind, and then, like, I don't think I want to make it to where Fennel doesn't understand that. Actually, I want to take a spin on it, and I want Fennel to be like, yeah, I don't see things the same way. But that doesn't make me any less of who I am. Because Fennel has never really been bothered by his disabilities, and I really want that to shine through his character. Because there are a lot of representation in my shows of disabled characters, and there are some characters that, you know, express their struggles. They struggle, and they struggle a lot on screen, and, like, that's just part of their life, unfortunately. That's just what it is, and, like, I don't want it to be viewed as something of, like, oh, this is so horrible, but, like, I don't want it to be lost in the void that these people do have to work harder. Like me, example me with my disabilities, I get really unsettled and I get very upset if I don't get that recognition. If people aren't like, hey, you know, you have a lot of chronic health problems, you're autistic. If they just expected me to be like an average neurotypical normal able-bodied person, I'd be so offended. I'd be so freaking mad because I just can't, and I have to work harder to keep up with our society that isn't built for me. Like, to me, I want that to shine through. I want that to be known that, like, hey, like, Heather struggles a lot. And, like, it's very real. And, like, I just wanted to make sure that that's a thing. Like, but I also want to have the other spectrum of, hey, maybe these characters don't struggle with themselves and, like, you know, kind of are upset with themselves because of that. But maybe they're okay with it. Because a lot of disabled people will tell you that, like, they will either reach a point or they've been at a point or etc. that there's an acceptance point. And I kind of want that to be a part of Fennel's character because Willow is extremely on that side of, like, not bothered, this is who I am, I'm no different from everybody else type of character. But yeah, sorry to go a little heavy on that one, but it's a very important thing to me that I express that because there's a lot of different walks of life and way that people perceive things. And especially things that you can't control. So, goodness. But yeah, needless to say, ramble aside, I really want Fennel to be confident. I don't want Fennel to not know himself. That feels out of character to me. I just kind of want, in a way, to put Cosmo in his place. Because Cosmo, the way that I've written Cosmo is to be like, sort of like neurotypical outsider perspective of doing the wrong thing. Of acting different, treating somebody different because of that. And it's like, no, just treat him like a person. So that's what I'm gonna hope to get out of this scene. But leading into that scene, I think I should have a little bit of a little small thing of Fennel, you know, maybe showing signs beforehand that Fennel is like, oop, you know, bumps into something and goes, oopsies, and then, like, continues, and, like, maybe I'll have them, because I really am stuck on this idea. Also, thank you, April Stars, hello. I'm glad you enjoy. But I'm really stuck on the idea of them having the little hats and swords and, like, cute stuff like that. I think it'd be really cute if they, like, built all of this, like, really dumb, like, armor and stuff, like, they geared up to escape. Because, like, this is already a series about talking cats. Obviously, I can go ham and I can do that. So I think that'd be really cute as they're preparing, we can have, like, a small little musical montage. So we're gonna say upbeat music revs up as Fennel and Cosmo shake on the agreement, which is the agreement above of, like, deal, and then they shake and it's gonna go and they're gonna, like, gear up. The cats gear up to face the hungry humans who have captured them. And make their Great escape. I think it'd be super funny too if like they're like and they're like getting ready and all this stuff, and then they're like, kitties, it's time for dinner, and then they're all like, ooh, yay, and then they just go and eat like casually, like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna take a snack break. And then they look up at the humans after they're done eating and they're like, we're gonna destroy you, and it just like goes back to them. Like, I really want there to be some funny aspects to Origins, because god, after Rose and Cypress back to back, we need some funniness. Like, we really need some funniness. So I think that'd be really fun of them like stop and then they go outside, and then it's like very underwhelming too. Like I'm trying to imagine it from a cat's perspective, like, you know? So, okay, we're gonna do that. The cats gear up to face the angry human, or the hungry humans, They create newspaper armor, swords crafted from paper towel rolls, and they train in the art of, what is that called? Chasing the laser pointer. Except, well, Fennel fails at that. I think they're gonna give Fennel a different toy, like sound-oriented toy. Except, well, Fennel is preoccupied with a squeaky toy. Until the music breaks comedically for a snack break, to which they promptly return to the training montage. They burst through the cat door in victory! Only to find, well, it wasn't all that exciting. Really. Oh gosh. Yes, one of the things let's sing is squeak. I have a lot of toys for my cats that like jingle, or like I have a bird toy that like chirps and stuff. Alright, so now they are standing there in the yard for a moment. Beat. Alright. Well, that was easy. Easy? That door was really well hidden. Oh, you'd think they'd make those things louder. You mean like brighter, more visible? Yeah, like that beehive over there. I can see it clear as day, even though it's up on that wall thingy, or tree. Yeah, that's a tree. See, I want Fennel to like be seen like, oh, it takes him a second, but it gets there. The song that's playing right now is Gerudo Valley from Legend of Zelda. A lot of my music is from video games, specifically Nintendo. Alright, and then... Oh, I get it now. You can't see. What? You're blind, aren't you? And then we're gonna change this part. Confident. Smiling. Alright. We're gonna change this. You can't see, because like Fennel's gonna be like, what? And then it's like, you're blind, aren't you? I am. Just that simple. There's a long pause. Cosmo struggles to find words. You don't see things the way I see them. I don't? No, you're missing a sense, Fennel. I thought you would have known. I'm sorry, is this gonna upset you? And then, instead of this, we're gonna get rid of this, because this is dumb. Dumb. We're gonna leave this blank for a second. Oh gosh. Yep. Alright. We're gonna say what do you mean? I already knew that. Of course. I already knew that. It's not gonna upset me. Oh wait, I'm writing this in completely the wrong diction. See, this is where you gotta... What does what do you? Why is it trying to spell check this to something else? This is a word! Fine. What do you mean? I already knew that. Let me say, of course I already knew that. It's not going to upset me. Why would it? There's nothing wrong with who I am. Pause. Is there? Which is going to allude to there being something else that Cosmo's upset about with Fennel, which is being in love with him later on. Alright. So, yes, this still works pretty good. Oh, again, I can see what? You're blind, aren't you? I am. You don't see things the way I see them. I don't? No, you're missing a sense. Thought you would have known. I'm sorry, is this gonna upset you? What do you mean? Of course I already knew that. It's not going to upset me. Why would it? There's nothing wrong with who I am. Is there? What does what do you? Literally? Why is it adding more words? I don't understand Google Docs sometimes. Looks destroyed and searches Fennel faces. Now I don't like this part because now it seems like he's like dismissing this. Yeah, this all is like pretty much gonna have to be changed. So, because now it seems like Cosmo's being a freaking jerk. So, we're not gonna do that. Alright, determination and back at his friend. I'm gonna say, no, you're right. That was mean of me to assume. I'm sorry. Because that's, you know, what you should do. You should apologize. So, there's nothing wrong with who I am, is there? No, you're right. That was mean of me to assume. I'm sorry. Because I think the worst thing you can say to somebody is describing what they are going through or who they are, parts of themselves they can't fix, as something that's wrong with them. That's like really harmful to say. So don't ever call somebody's mental illness or disability or neurodivergency. Don't say that it's oh, there's something wrong with you. It's really awful to say. So PSA, don't say that. Oh. Can't play current song. Okay. Thank you for that. It's just, it started the song and then was like, never mind. You get no music now. Okay. Although it was fun taking the stairs, maybe having a mild life crisis. No, literally though. Dear God. There's a spider in your room? Don't lose it. I like potatoes. Do not lose that spider. You keep an eye on it. Do not lose it. Alright. No, you're right. That was... I'm gonna say... that was wrong of me. Because, yeah, we're using the same word. But because to make an emphasis. Yes, Rose Gray. Slay. Thank you. Alright, so no, you're right. That was wrong of me to assume. I'm sorry. Alright, so now... embarrassment. We're gonna change this to embarrassment. Shy, embarrassed. Just shy, embarrassed. No, you're right. That was wrong with me to assume. I'm sorry. Forgiving. Hopeful. It's alright. Now I'm gonna take this as a confidence moment for Fennel to describe his experience. So saying, it's alright. Let's see. Because I have to figure out how we're gonna ease into the next scene. Now I'm doing it this way. Because the next scene is when they start learning the color, like, clarity stuff. Oh goodness. Sorry I'm yawning. I don't usually live stream super late, so I'm like a grandma. But I wanted to start streaming on Fridays because it's Fridays nights is when everybody said they could make it, so that's what the goal was, so here we are. Alright, so, no, you're right, that was wrong of me to assume, I'm sorry. It's alright. Oh god. The urge to make him say a pun, like, not everybody sees it the right way at first or something, like, oh god, the way I'm like, Fennel wouldn't tell a pun, but it's in the back of my brain to do it. What? It's the thrill of might being venomous is what makes spider eating enjoyable. I'm scared. Befriend the spider. It's like a dog with 8 legs. Yeah! Spiders are so wonderful. Save them if you can. Alright. I'm hitting a block. For some reason my brain is just like turning into a frozen pea. Alright, it's time. It's time for the frozen pea brain. Rattling around in my brain. It's rattling. It's like an old, like, car engine, like, trying to start up in the cold. It's doing its best. Trying to think of what to say here, but honestly, that's the thing of like, okay, well I obviously can't force it then, because like I had an idea of like, I kind of wanted him to be confident and explain his experiences here. But if it's just not fitting, then it's just not fitting. So if it's not working, it's not working, period. We'll drop it and we'll come back to it. So now we'll just say, it's alright. Pause. But hey! We did it! Looks like we won't get eaten after all. But hey, we did it. Looks like we won't get eaten after all. Yeah. I guess we did escape. Okay, now I gotta just delete all this and figure out what I'm gonna do. Oh wait, oh god, I just deleted what I was trying to type. Jeez. Yeah, I guess we did escape. We make a pretty good team. Okay, and then, yeah. And now the next step is to run away forever. Ha ha ha! I think I'm just gonna be cheeky and then have Cosmo say slightly worried. Down to earth. Cause he's very timid about this. Your car? Wait, what's going on with cars in chat? Why is chat going so bonkers? Run? Wait, why are we running? Why is everyone running? Is there a spider? Is the spider got loose? What happened? I'm not caught up on the spider lore. What's going on? Why are we eating cars? Chat! Oh dear. Bro. Why are we eating cars? I literally look away for like 2 seconds. Okay, my pea brain stopped working, or started working again because I started typing, but like... What's going on, chat? Okay. After all, yeah, I guess we did escape. Haha, we make a pretty good team. Yeah, and next step is to run away forever. Maybe we should... prepare a little bit more. I'm not sure what to do with this part. I'm honestly like having a hard time with the scene, so when I do that, I just alright, start here. And I'll remind myself that hey, I didn't finish that scene up there. Whoop. So then I'll come back later because I'm getting mildly frustrated with that scene right now. So like my brain is obviously shutting off, so I need to switch it around and like let's find another scene to work on. I'll ask you guys, do you guys want to see a little bit more of Fennel and Cosmo's story, or do you want to pop on over to Lupin's episode? I'll see what you guys want to do. Cause yeah, there's a lot to fix with this one. It's like probably the messiest one out of all of them. Because we had so much Reaper content in this episode originally. Ooh, everybody wants to see some Lupin. Okay, okay. Corwin, please. Not the B movie. Lupin with an E, Lupine. It looks like Lupine, but it's Lupin. Yeah, we can hop on over there. We'll hop on over to that script. Sounds like the majority wants some Lupin hours up in here, so we will do that. We did get, like, halfway through this script, so that's good. Which is wonderful. Alright, let me get some water. Oh god. If I do more Q&As, I will post in the community tab, like with the link to where you can submit the questions and all that good stuff. So don't worry about that. We're not doing any Q&A right now. I mean, I'm answering a couple questions in the chat, so if you have some, you can ask them now, but, sorry, the pop sound was my water. But yes, I won't be doing the Q&A. I'll be, like, gosh, I am literally so tired. Unless I do some more speed art stuff, so. We'll be doing those on weeks that I can't stream, so I'll let you know if I can stream next week. And if I can, then we will do Q&A live, and if not, then you can leave Q&A in the form that I put in the community tab. Aww, Fizz Izzy, I have so many squishmallows. It's fine. Nobody's gonna judge you. They're wonderful. Alright, so... Stop telling me to sleep, you're making me yawn more! I'm fine. I'm just a little tuckered out. Life is hard, so... but it's okay. So we're gonna take a peek-sees at Lupine's episode, which, yeah, I don't know why I turned off that spoiler thing. That we're gonna keep dancing. The spoilers are here. So, this episode's a little crazy. I'm gonna warn you. This episode's a little nuts, alright? I'm gonna have to take out some stuff. It's a little too much for me. So, the original synopsis. You guys keep talking about yawning! Stop it! Okay. The majority of Lupin's childhood took place in his home with his owners. Being the only pet in the house, he was pretty pampered until one day an accident changed everything. Why does that say "and"? Am I okay? Lupin lost one of his legs and it sent his owners into a spiral. Guilt-driven, Lupin leaves his home in search of a new family that will free his mind of being a burden. The junkyard dogs accept him, but they'll never treat him as an equal. May helps Lupin escape and even finds Lupin a new companion, Petunia. Although he is old and grumpy, he never makes Lupin feel like a burden. That's the synopsis. However, I'm going to warn you, this first scene is insane. It was gonna be... We're gonna put this in season 3. It's a scene of Imp on the beach when May leaves him alone in Lupin's episode. May, like, puts the pocket watch down on a rock, looking out at the ocean, and then... Stop! Gamers! Oh! You're killing me. But May puts down the pocket watch on the rock, looks out at the ocean, is like, okay, I'm gonna go, you know, have dinner, you know, as Lupin now, so I'm gonna leave Imp here. And Imp looks out at the ocean, and it's like this whole dramatic scene. There's actually a really dark, morbid scene that happens in this moment with Imp. Imp unfortunately experiences some psychosis because he's very traumatized about being around water, and it's not good. Imp basically has a delusional episode and thinks that Aleda has come to save him, and then Imp gets really mad and is like, why haven't you come to save me before? Go away! Brrr! And that's the whole scene. So this whole scene has to go because now we're not focusing on the Reapers in this season. It'll happen. It just won't happen now. But Imp has some issues. Imp does have PTSD, yes. Imp has a lot of things that are going on with Imp. Alright, Imp has a water phobia, bit of a sociopath, and experiences some psychosis and some PTSD stuff because of solitary confinement. There's a lot of psychology that goes on with Imp. I could go into it, but Imp is very traumatized. Oh, Para-Animates, welcome! Oh, I'm so happy that you're new here. That's so fun. Thanks for popping into the stream. Season 2 is gonna be wild. Oh, let's go. I'm so excited. Aleda visits him. Not actually, but he believes that's what's happening. But we're just gonna start this off with Lupin, which I love this scene. I think I'm gonna keep this one pretty much exactly the same. Aleda's not actually there. It's just Imp thinking she is, and it is an imagining a scenario and can't tell if it's real or not. Which is what psychosis kind of does to you. But this scene is where Lupin gets his collar. So this is a very important scene where Lupin it explains how Lupin got his collar and the symbolism behind it. So they're all arguing over these collars, and then the dad's like, "Stop it! Stop it!" And then Lupin's being kind of a brat, and he's like, "I want to pick my collar!" And then Lupin's dad's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick your collar." So Lupin's sister gets a green one, which is a symbol of luck, generosity, and intelligence. And then Lupin's brother gets a purple one. Why is some songs just do not want to play right now? It's very cursed. Alright, anyways. Lupin's brother Saffron gets a purple collar because it symbolizes loyalty, wisdom, and enlightenment. And then Briar gets the most special collar of all, the pink one. And it represents passion, love, and energy. And it's a very special one because the pink collar is the one that their mom had, but their mom passed away. So like Briar gets a really special one, and they're all excited about it. And then the last one left is Lupin's collar, and it's a blue one. And Lupin's like, "What about my collar?" And then Lupin's dad is like, "Oh yes, this is the last one, it's yours." And Lupin's like, "Why don't I get to know the meaning of my color?" And then they all argue, and Lupin's like, "I'm always so left out, and rawr, I want to know what mine means." And then Lupin's dad is like, "Hey, calm down." Ooh, if you see highlighted lines, it's because they were voice actor notes, previously. But yeah, then Lupin's dad is like, "Hey, you all are adopted pups, you can't be acting like this, blah 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 blah," because it turns out these pups are going to their forever homes. Turns out that, you know, they're kind of in like the home of their breeder, so they are being adopted out and they're going to their forever homes. And the whole theme of Lupin's episode is Lupin trying to define what the color of his collar symbolizes, what his collar symbolizes to him. And then along the way he has to give up his collar to join the junkyard dogs. And when he gives up the collar, he just realizes how much of himself he gave up, and then he feels a little hopeless, and that's not a good time for him. But that's when May shows up and makes everything better, and then, you know, Lupin isn't kind of living by this strict moral code thing that, like, he was raised to. He's just kind of, like, being himself and allowing himself to change and not be defined by labels or collars. Which is great. What is going on in this chat? I am concerned. But yeah, no, I love this scene. I don't really want to change it at all. I really like it. So that one will stay. That one will stay. This one is a little... cringe. I don't know how else to say it. It's cringe. It's cringe! I hate it here. It's essentially... Oh, I know this isn't the cringe scene. Oh, yes it is. Oh, great. They all leave, and basically when Lupin gets adopted, there's one of the owners is like, "Oh, we love Lupin." The other owner is like, "I don't like this dog," and like gets really upset with the dog, and then like all this stuff happens and Lupin gets into honestly, the accident that happens to Lupin is not graceful, it's not dramatic, it's like one of those things where like honestly people laugh at it and it's like sad, and like things like that happen to people all the time. Like I don't want to like deeply upset anybody by saying this because it's a little bit, the content's slightly graphic, but just plug your ears and go la 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 for like 2 seconds while I explain this. Lupin gets into a lawnmower accident, which sounds somewhat silly, I guess, can be perceived, if you're being mean, can be perceived as silly, but it happens a lot to dogs, like, more often than you would expect, so it's what they call, you know, a quote-unquote freak accident, and those types of accidents happen a lot to people, like, yeah, there is a not so great owner, which is nice, because, like, I feel like I have a lot of great pet owners in Origins and stuff, but I'm like, not every one of them is probably good, so, like, yeah, there's all of this tension, Lupin gets into the accident, and then it's really sad because then the humans are arguing, and then Lupin feels really bad and feels like it's his fault and feels like a burden and ends up running away. And then that's when he finds the junkyard dogs. Yeah, this is sad. I told you this is the sad part. Yeah. It's a little mean, it's a little sad, but like it's got realistic aspects to it. It's not a graceful thing. It's not like a super cool like action movie like way to like portray that, but I'm like, no, this happens a lot. So that's what happens to Lupin, and that's how Lupin loses his leg. And at that point, spirits are pretty down. Pretty much almost dies out there in the wild. And then these junkyard dogs find him. And then they were like, you know, taking Lupin in, and then Orchid's like, if you want to stay, give me your collar. And that's why Orchid has a blue collar. It's actually Lupin's. Fun fact. Little tidbit there. And then that's when Lupin decides, like, I'm gonna make my own life for myself. I don't need a collar to define me, or I don't want people to, like my dad to like, force these, like, ideals onto me, and, like, I'm not a burden, and, like, takes on, like, the optimistic route and puts on that lovely orange bandana. And it's like, yay! And then it starts looking up. So, my music, why don't you want to be played right now? Why are you being silly? Alright. Yeah. Girlfriend, stop! It's being real silly. I don't know what's up with all that. Oh my god! She's like, not okay. Music! Oh, what happened to you? Can't play the current song. Can you not play any of my songs? Why are you acting like this? Squinting. Okay. Music. Alright. Anyways. Yeah, this episode needs a lot of help. But the way that it leaves off, or left off, is so ominous, and I'm gonna build on this. This little part right here is really cool. Essentially, Lupin is admitting to Petunia that he had a guardian angel. And it explains everything that happened with Imp in May. Which, you're not really supposed to do. So, Lupin tells Petunia everything, and then Lupin's like, you believe in guardian angels too, don't you? And then Petunia says, more than you'll ever know. And it's revealed that Petunia can see ghosts. And then, like, I really want to go down this entire thing of Petunia, like, talking about what happened to him in his life, and like the ghosts that he sees, and all this stuff, like. And I actually wanted to take this down a really interesting path, because I completely left this open, a little too open, and I didn't explore this idea more. But now that I have the time to, because I cut out all the Reaper stuff, I think I'm going to have it where Lupin's gonna be like, you talk to ghosts, you see ghosts, you believe in guardian angels. I want to see my mom. Like, I want to find my mom. And like, have like a whole thing of like Petunia and Lupin going off on their own journey and finding the ghost of Lupin's mom, and like having her be the one to give Lupin the closure and be like, you know, you don't need a collar, you don't need this, you don't need that. Oh, someone subscribed! Yo, thanks for the banana slay. Gimme the banana. Gimme. Yay! Ha! Take that, Peeves. But wouldn't that be so cool? They like go out and like, oh god. I'm just saying, there's so much potential for that story. I really want them to balance off together, because Lupin and Petunia have a great character dynamic, and I think it would help Lupin a lot after, especially after the events of 12, of Imp leading May and Lupin to Petunia for a reason. Like May or Imp using his foresight and saying, oh, Petunia sees ghosts, okay, this will lead to this event, okay, da-da-da-da-da, and therefore making Imp's, or gosh, I'm getting the names all jumbled in my brain, Lupin's future the best that it could be. So, yeah. Lupin and Willow would be best friends if they met Eve Princess, they really would. Oh gosh, I think I'm a little tuckered out. For writing. I wrote a lot more in the beginning, now I'm just sort of reviewing the scripts, but well, you got your sneak peekies, that's for sure. But okay, any last minute questions? I'm probably going to be popping off the stream for the night. If you have any questions about Lupin's story, Fennel's story, or just anything about 12 or Origins, even Brightside, you can let me know now, or I will see you next week. I'm gonna try and live stream every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's what I'm going to try and do, but right now we're in the middle of selling our house and moving and all this crazy stuff, so it's a little uncertain. And if something comes up, then we will just do a Q&A and speed paint with some doodles like we did last week. Season 2 is not coming out this month, Corwin. No, oh my gosh. It is coming out, I don't know. My best guess would be summer of this year. My music is not working again. Why? What's your deal? That makes no sense. This playlist is downloaded. There's no reason for you to be a weenie. Okay. But not this month. I'm assuming in the summer. I mean, spring would be great, but I'm moving during the spring, so I don't know if I'm gonna have time. So, summer to be safe. Alright, did Morven and the other Reapers pull May? No, they did not. Fennel actually pushed May out himself. I'm actually gonna add that scene to this episode of Fennel just talking to May and saying, look, I appreciate you helping me today, and I think I know what I have to do now. And just sort of push May out, and then May's like, wait, I can still help you, and then Fennel's like, no, I just need to be alone right now. And that'll be that, and I'll be like, whoa. So that's gonna be a little scene in this in episode 7. What's the symbolism between Fennel, Cosmo, and Petunia's name? Oh, Petunia is just a bright flower. It's just like a happy bright flower. So that's why. And Petunia is a grumpy, hairless cat, which is just hilarious. Cosmo. Gosh, I can't recall the exact symbolism behind the flowers anymore. It's been so many years. But fennel is love. I do know that. The original origin story was the epilogue and Evan facing the darker side of himself. No! Phoenix, the end of Origins was actually Imp. It's honestly sacrificing himself for Heather and Sai, May's kids. It was very sad. Orion's Arrow, I have a pretty strict rule about people joining that server unless they're in the cast or if they're in, they actually have the paid membership, but I've wanted you in the cast since like the beginning. I think you actually maybe were the understudies of some of the Origins characters, so I could honestly pop you into the cast server and then pop you into that server later. How thick is Imp's skull? How painful would his headbutt be? God, it would be so painful. The masks are pretty thick. I'd imagine that would hurt pretty bad. Dang. Oh, am I quiet? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm being quiet. It's because I'm like slouching in my chair. Season 2 coming out this spring. No, summer. We're gonna shoot for summer. We're gonna play it safe. But if it comes out spring, yippee! But no idea. May's mom is Satan. Sure, that thing. That was pretty much everything. You can check the bloopers and everything, yeah. Oh, you really want to know what's up with Heather and Sai? Oh, they're going around helping people, doing good deeds, being guardian angels in their own eyes, in their own way. That's what they're doing. The episodes will not be... Cypress's story is actually number 6, because the Order of 12, you gotta remember there was that one episode of 12 that had no vessel because it was just May being introduced to Imp. So that's why Cypress is not episode 7, he's episode 6. Oh, does Petunia really doesn't want Lupin to leave him? Yeah, I feel like Petunia is like very much so like, oh, I don't want you to stay here, you're so annoying. But then like if Lupin's gone away, Petunia's like sad and is like, ah, man. He really livened up the place, you know? It's like, I feel like he's just like, definitely wants Lupin to stay, but like, won't say it. Ooh, I have I have art for Reaper May, actually. We call her Coffee May, because she looks like a little cappuccino May. It's really cute. I actually draw reverse 12 on live streams all the time for doodles. Is Warrior Cats canon with the Origins universe? Don't think so. Oh gosh. How long will episodes be? They're actually gonna get a little bit shorter, from this point on, because, they're just about the vessels. I'm gonna try and keep them 15 minutes to 20-minute long episodes. So, like a regular TV show. Mocha May. Yes, we love Mocha May. How powerful is a Reaper in comparison to their mortal form? Ooh, they are so much more powerful when they're Reapers. Especially as they collect more souls, they just keep getting more and more powers and abilities, so... The longer they're Reaper, the better. Why did Cypress choose his Reaper name as Sin? I'm so glad you asked! Ah! Because Sin is short for Cinder. Cypress renamed himself as Cinder because of the tremendous loss he faced, and calls himself Sin because it's edgy, but it's actually short for Cinder. Will he kill Imp? I don't think I can reveal that, if that happens or not, but gosh. Yeah, sorry to rip your hearts out. That was actually Devin Black's idea, who voices Cypress. It was actually a very funny story. Me and Devin were at a zoo together. We were doing a meetup, and I was like, "Hey, what do you think Cypress's Reaper name would be if Cypress was a Reaper, hypothetically?" And then we came up with Cinder, and then I was like, "Oh, that's so good because he could call himself Sin and be all edgy." That's perfect. So yeah, that's how that happened, which is kind of cool. No one will kill my boy. To match Shiva in power? I don't think you can match Shiva in power because the ancestors pick the leaders, and the leaders are just bonkers powerful, and like it's not something you can just obtain. It's something that has to be kind of blessed upon you from the ancestors. It's kind of like, whoa. So I don't think anybody can reach that level. You're menacing foreshadowing? Look! No. No. Okay, gamers. It is time to head off. I'm yawning again. This isn't good. I can't write when I'm exhausted. So, I appreciate you hanging out with me while you did. You guys actually changed the script quite a bit. So thank you for that. All of your inspiration, your really cool ideas. That was a lot of fun. I will continue to work on scripts and stuff. The next week I have planned for live streaming, I think we're going to be drawing some Reaper masks for the Reaper Shadow quiz that's coming onto my website soon. So we'll work on some masks, and we'll draw some bones, and we'll draw some fun Reaper things next time. And then the week after that, we'll do another script writing stream, and we'll check in and see how far we've gotten in the scripts, and we'll write some other ones, so we don't keep sticking with the same ones. You guys can, like, pop into each one if you'd like. So, with that, thank you guys so much for hanging out, donating, and asking questions, and just having a good old time. Making me yawn. Alrighty. Well, gamers, it's been real, it's been fun. But I hope you guys have a splendid rest of your night, your week. If you're watching the VOD of this stream, I hope you have a lovely time, whatever time you're watching this. And thanks for watching the VOD, if you are a VOD viewer. But yes, oh, I'm so glad you guys enjoyed the stream, guys! Hopefully we'll do it again next week, and if not, we'll do some speed art instead. And we'll figure out some fun things to do then. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed some behind-the-scenes action on Origins and are excited for Season 2. But until then, we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.